Hi there. So it's been a while since I've posted any type of gear related videos or anything like that in a while. So this will be my first firearm related video. And I'm going to be talking about the Springfield XD Mod 2. This is the subcompact. This has been my EDC concealed carry pistol for years. I bought it brand new when they first came out, I think in 2016 or 2017, and it's stayed pretty much stock. I mean, I've only done small things like this Pierce grip and added the TLR6 to it over the years I've had it. I'll go ahead and safety check it. As you see, weapon is clear, magazine's out. We are good to go. But for those that are familiar with the Mod 2s, it's a decent handgun. I've never had any issues with it, and I forget. I lost count how many rounds I've had through this thing over the years. But it was pre-optics, red dot optic type of era. You didn't really have a lot of handguns around that had optics on them. And as years have gone on, obviously Springfield's inventory of firearms has increased dramatically in terms of handguns. And pretty much all of their handguns now have optics cut slides. And they've even come out with optic cut slides for the original XD. But ironically enough, as my luck would be, that almost every handgun in Springfield's armor or inventory now has an optic cut slide, while the XD Mod 2, for those of us that own them, this is literally the only pistol I think that I have that does not have an OSP version or some type of milled slide from the factory, or a secondary option for you to buy them. Either the full size, mid size, or any of the other variants of the Mod 2, you have only two options. You have to go and send your slide out to be milled, or you've got these Dovetail adapters, which is kind of what this video is going to be kind of about, because searching around on YouTube, there's not a lot of videos out there about these Dov Dot mounts for Springfields, which ironically enough, especially the Mod 2, since those of us that have them know, this either wasn't a very popular pistol because of this garbage, but there's hardly any aftermarket support for this handgun whatsoever. And like I said, even Springfield, it's almost like they wish this particular version didn't exist, because like I said, there's no aftermarket slide available for it at all. So it's kind of one of those things. It's one of those things where you don't have many options, obviously available. So you've literally, like I said, you got to send the slide out somewhere, or you have these dove dots, or these dovetail adapters for mounting red dots to your pistol. So this is kind of like the two options that I felt are the best for this particular handgun. I mean, obviously, this is just my opinion. For the Mod 2, and in particular the subcompact version, there's really two versions I feel that were probably going to work out for this pistol. The one that I recommend, and it's going to be a caveat because it's going to be in two parts. This will be me just talking about the two that I suggest, and one that I went with, and then the install video for that mounting option will be the second video. I'm waiting for a sight pusher kit to show up for that, but so the two sight options that I picked for this, that I was looking at getting, were the Dov Dot by Dove Adaptive Mounting Solutions, and this other one by DPP. The Dov Dot is a better mount, in my opinion, based on what you get for the money. The Dov Dot, if anybody's not familiar with the Dov Dot, it's a dovetail adapter which replaces your rear sight. And the same thing with this DPP mount. That's how you mount a red dot to them. You mount them in lieu of having your rear sight. So with these sights, the Dove Dot in particular, it's a low profile lower profile ish type of mount. And the interesting thing about it is that it came with a integrated rear sight in the mount itself, so you weren't really sacrificing it. And it also came with a raised suppressor height front sight with a fiber optic, or you could pay a little bit extra and get one with a tritium insert in it. But you have to have an optic that fits the RMSC footprint. So in my option, I do not have an RMSC capable red dot. I unfortunately have a Vortex Venom that I was going to be using for this particular handgun to try and just test it out. So the Venom uses a doctor cut. So that kind of X'd out me using the Dove Dot, which was unfortunate. Now, you still could, in theory, use the Dove Dot on this pistol and use the Venom, but you need an adapter plate, which would increase the height. So this is the DPP mount that I got for my pistol, because, like I said, I have a Vortex Venom that I'm going to try and use on this. So this mount just comes already for the Venom. I don't need to have an adapter plate or anything for it. It just goes right on there. So, and it comes with mounting hardware and tools to mount it to the pistol. And I'll go ahead and just kind of take it out. Now, DPP has two different options you can get. You can get an aluminum mount or the titanium mount. And I decided to get the titanium mount because I didn't think putting an aluminum optics mount on a pistol, if I can get this out of the bag here. Anyway, I'll just leave it in there. But the titanium obviously is a stronger, lighter weight metal than aluminum anyway, and I didn't feel like it would benefit the pistol at all having an aluminum mount on a steel frame like that. I just didn't. I didn't like the possibility for failure, if you will, or maybe it gets snagged on something and it bending, or whatnot else. That I decided to pay the extra $10 and get the titanium mount. As you can see on the bottom here, this drifts into your rear sight, where your rear sight would be, and then obviously the dot sits on top of this. So I'll show what this looks like with the Venom on it, just to double check it also fits. I'd be surprised if it didn't, because I made sure that I got the right one, but that's how it would sit. And you would drop the Venom on, and as you can see, it fits right on there. But you can see that it does add a little bit of height to the mount, or the mount adds a little bit of height to the sight. So that's kind of what people don't like about these, is that for some of these sights, you might run out of the ability to adjust when you go to zero it. On the Venom here, I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I won't know until I zero it. So with the Dove Dot, if you were to get that option and you wanted to still use, say, the Venom on it, you'd have to get another plate to put on top of that in order to put the Venom on it. So you're kind of increasing the height even more. Granted, the other, the Dove Dot is a lower profile. It's probably about half, maybe 3/4 the thickness of this one, but it's also a little bit longer because it has the additional front sight mounted in front of where the sight would be mounted to. So, that's the only caveat I would say to the Dove Dot. I could have done that, but the fact that I felt like just going this route was also a cheaper option in case I didn't like it. So the Dove Dot, the DPP mount was $22, I think, for the titanium, $23, something like that, for the titanium mount. But if you were to do the Dove Dot, at least at the time of filming this, I think if you get just the kit itself and not the installed tool kit that you can get for it, it's about $90. But really, that's a really good deal, because you're getting, not only are you getting the plate, but you're also getting a suppressor height sight in the front too that would also co-witness with that additional sight that would be up in the front. So in an ideal world, and I had an RMSC capable red dot mount, or I bought one specifically for that, that's probably the way I would have gone. But this one is kind of a good budget option, especially if you have an older optic like, say, the Venom or the Viper, maybe. Because I know Vortex, I think they discontinued these because that footprint, the doctor cut footprint, is it's not a very popular mounting system anymore. So, but that's kind of like, those are kind of my two suggestions, I would say, for if you're going to put anything on a Mod 2. Those are kind of like your best options. I think if you're going to go this route, the mounting options, you've got this one, like I said, from DPP, or you've got the Dovetail from Adaptive Mounting Solutions. It's more expensive, obviously, like I said, the Dovetail is, but I think you get more. It's a pretty good option, I would say, but this looks like it'll work fine. Like I said, we'll find out how much of a pain it's going to be whenever I go to install this on the XD, because from what I understand, that's why I bought the Sight Pusher kit, is that you can, I understand that trying to get this rear sight out of the Springfield is almost impossible. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, and that's why I'm doing two different videos. So like, since, like I was saying when I first started this video, most of these videos on YouTube involve this type of solution for Glocks, and it's obviously available for Springfields, and in particular anybody who's got a Mod 2. You can do this to your Mod 2 and not have to worry about sending your slide out and spending, you know, between $100 and $300 depending on where you go to send this thing and get the slide milled. I've tried to price it out, and it costs about $200 easily, I would say. Because, you know, you got to get it milled. The mill job's between $70 and $80. Then you got to get it Cerakoted, recoated. Because leaving this slide plain after it's milled, the chances of it rusting are pretty high. So a lot of these places, these reputable places that have slide mill jobs, you pay $80 to get it milled, and another $80 or so to get it refinished. I mean, you're at almost $200 right there, plus shipping to the facility and insurance on the shipping and getting it back and forth. So you're already at $200, and the pistol itself is $300. So to me, getting it milled, maybe it's worth it to some people, but really, in my opinion, this kind of, you can do this option to it, and it's, you know, a really good budget option. Or you would just sit there and go, you could spend another $200 and get a factory gun nowadays that's already, you know, red dot capable from the factory. But like I said, if you got a Mod 2, and those are kind of your only two options, is, like I said, spend the $200 ish to get it milled at one of these reputable shops, or get a, you know, a Dovetail adapter for your red dot sight. So that's kind of it for just this, my 2 cents worth on the options I think you would be benefiting from if you've got this type of pistol. And hopefully in the part 2 of this video will be me actually mounting it to this gun, and you will have a go-to video that's not a Glock install video, which, like I said, seems like that's all that exists on the internet for these types of mounts. So yeah, so either the Dovetail from Adaptive Mounting Solutions, or this DPP one. Like I said, this type of setup seems like they're pretty good as long as the materials are decent. I don't suggest aluminum mounts at all. But yeah, so thanks for watching this one, and hopefully you can tune into the second one, and we can get this thing on here, and we'll figure out if the dot will work.